Hey guys, welcome back to Princess Connect. In today's video, we're going to go through what I consider to be the top 1-star units to build in the game. We're going to have 3 that I really do like, and then we're going to go through some rapid fire, few other 1-stars that I think will have niche implications in the game moving forward, but not necessarily ones you should just broadly look at building straight away. So let's get into it. Okay, so in my opinion, the best 1-star unit, once again, one man's opinion. I have spoken to people online, trolled through the discords and stuff like that to see what other people think, but Yukari is, in my opinion, the best 1-star in the game at the moment. I just feel like her kit is amazing. The one downfall of her is that she is not farmable from any hard modes. If she was farmable from a hard mode, it would be absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, you do have to get her from either the dungeon or the amulet shop. But she is very, very strong with a really good supportive kit. So when we look at her abilities, her Union Burst is going to be a barrier that is able to negate magic damage around all allies. Now the cool thing about this one is it says it negates 792 magic damage. Through a little bit of testing, so don't quote me on this, but when I use her, and I use her in my team all the time at the moment, it seems that she basically just, when she puts this on, the next magical attack is completely nullified, even if it was to be more than 792 damage. That's the way I think it's working at the moment, because every time I get attacked with an ability, no matter what it is, it just gets completely negated. But I could be wrong. It could just be that every attack is under 792 damage. So really nice nonetheless. Everyone gets a bit of magic protection. Then we have this one here, recovers the HP of the ally of the party member with the lowest HP by a moderate amount. This is really nice. The moderate amount is the big part. Now, heals are very weak in the early game. Apparently they scale better the further you get, but having a single target heal as opposed to the AoE heal that the starter has, Yui it is, I think, it's going to be about double the amount with this heal, and normally you've only got 1 or 2 units taking the damage at a time, meaning that the single target heal is going to give you much more bang for your buck, which is really, really strong. So I do like this heal. Really handy for 1, healing your tank if your tank's taking all the damage, 2, healing that back or mid-row ally that's taking some, rocks or whatever thrown at them to be able to keep them alive as well. Then we have Moonlight, which is going to be TP recovery for the ally with the lowest TP. Once again, really good supportability, getting that TP to the ally that really wants to boost up their TP, and then you can get your Union Burst ready more often, is always going to be valuable. So just 3 really strong supportive abilities. And then we do have, once we get her to rank 7, which I'm not at yet, we're going to get magic defense. She's not very physically tanky, but magically she is pretty tanky, so she can be that sort of mid-row pseudo magic tank if she needs to be, but yeah, against physical she does struggle a bit. But just that kit, 3 really good support skills, make her the number 1-star in my opinion. Moving on to the next one, also a healer. This is Yui, how I spoke about just before. Now, really strong unit. The thing I use her for more is in enemy teams, when you sometimes get them when they start hitting multiple allies, because we do have the group heal. As you can see, it is about half of that single target heal. It's at 487, a bit over half. Not too effective, especially if it's only 1 ally getting hit, but I normally bring her into certain situations when the enemies, maybe they got 1 enemy attacking mid row, 1 enemy attacking back row, and then a couple attacking my front row, because this is going to get more value out of the heal when you're going to be healing 3 allies with it. Also, we have this Flower Guard, small boost to physical defense for all allies. If it's a physical team that are attacking multiple allies, this is where she really excels, because she's going to give them all physical defense and then also heal all of them. So multi-target physical damage is where she really shines, in my opinion. The other cool thing about her is when we go how to obtain, you can see that eventually we will have 2 hard modes to farm her shards, making her very easy to star up. And the cool thing about her is, in this game, a lot of people that I speak to are saving all of their resources for future banners. So the fact that you do have a healer that you start the game with who you can easily star up is fantastic, and she's very, very good in that form. If you don't have any other healers, you're going to be able to star her up, and she's going to be very functional for a lot of people. So I think you will see a lot of, especially free-to-play players, saving all of their jewels for future banners and just rolling ahead with her as the healer, because once again, you can upgrade her really quick, and she's not too bad. Good physical defense buff, and all that. And moving on to the third unit, we have Kokkoro. Apologies if I get the name wrong, but I suck at names. Basically, the other starter unit that you do have, we've got the physical and magical attack power buff, which is really good in the early game, so it doesn't really matter what you're building. You get the buff for both of them. You don't have to specialize in. Some stages, you know, you may want to be building a magic attacker and also a physical attacker, depending on what enemies you come across, and she just works to buff both of them. She does deal some physical damage. This ability, not the greatest in my opinion. It's okay, but I'd rather her have another solid support. Very similar to here with the blast from Yui. Not the greatest, but you know, unfortunately that's the kit they got. Then we have speed boost, small boost to action speed and physical attack of all allies. Now this is also nice. Attack speed is always a good thing. Eventually we do get the physical attack, but she is all about the buffs that we get, which are really nice. Now, for me personally, I don't use her because I did pull the 3-star Monica, who basically has the same buff. So we've got boost to physical attack, magic attack, and action speed for all allies. I use her now. She's a 3-star. She also does have some nice AoE damage and a stun, so she sort of phases out this one for me. But however, I did level up the Kokkoro just so I could test the differences between the two, because I was a bit curious. For me personally, if you do have, especially if she's 1-star and then we have Monica 3-star, I prefer Monica. I will keep farming the shards for Kokkoro just to really test her out, maybe get her to 3-star and have an even comparison. But once again, we can obtain her from 2 of the hard mode stages, which is really nice, making her once again easy to power up and falling into that same category as Yui, as these two can be your 2 main supports in your team for a fair while into the game if you are going free to play and saving all of your resources for future banners. Okay, with those top 3 out of the way, I just wanted to have a quick look at some other 1-stars that you might want to consider. I wouldn't say just go and build these because they're OP. These are just like niche ones that some people might get some use out of, so take it with a grain of salt. The first one is going to be Peck, the starter unit that we all get. Now, I've heard some people say, once again, in the category of those people who are saving everything going on, she can be a decent tank. For me, increases own magical defense by a small amount and recovers own HP by a small amount. Ain't too bad. We've got this one, which is just going to deal physical damage to an enemy, and then this one, moderate boost to own physical and magical defense. So she's got a bit of self-sustain. She's got own magical defense buff, and then she's also got own physical defense buff. So she is pretty tanky and not too bad in that sense. So I do like her there. I may even attempt to build her later on to test her, once again for test purposes because I want to. But she's another one of those ones you can farm from 2 hard mode stages, so eventually you will be able to start her up. So from a lot of the people who haven't been pulling and getting better tanks, this has been their basically essential go-to, and I find it not too bad compared to what else is on offer. The next one that I want to take a quick look at is one that I'm curious about. I don't think she's gonna be great, but one that I do want to test, and I'm curious to see if any of you guys have tested, and that is Lima. Basically, she starts the battle off of the page. Your tank, your sort of first tank takes a little bit of damage, then she rushes in with this ability, charges to the foremost enemy, and then gets a small boost to her own physical defense. So you sort of spread the damage a little bit by doing that, which isn't too bad. We've got this one here, deal a small physical damage to an enemy directly in front and inflict stun. Stun is always nice for buying a bit of time. And then we have this, deals moderate physical damage to all enemies in range, large boost to own physical defense. So I feel like she might be able to fill that role of a really chunky physical tank, as long as you've got the heals to keep her up, because we have no self-sustain. So once again, I'm not saying go build her, she's a must build, but I'm really curious, and eventually I will test her out, and when I do, I will do a video on it. So that is her. And the final one that I wanted to mention is going to be over here, and that is Kurumi. Now, the reason I like Kurumi's skill set, once again, I feel like this is going to be a later game niche unit to build. She has 2 stuns, so large physical damage to enemy directly in front and inflicts stun. We've got this one, small physical damage to enemy directly in front and inflicts stun. And then we have this one here, small boost to physical and magical defense for all nearby allies. Now, nearby is the key here, so not everyone's going to get it. But I feel like, again, some teams where they've got that really annoying front row that you've really just got to lock down, this could be really good, but don't go out and build her straight away. The reason I'm mentioning her is maybe you might want to go over here and in the hard mode farm her shards every day, so that, you know, if you do find a situation where you might want to build her later on in the game, then you have the shards to do so. But that is going to be it for my list of the best 1-star units so far. Let me know what you guys like, if you're using any other different 1-stars, any that you want me to build and test. I'm happy to blow my resources on it. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. I hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.